2024 GMC Acadia just revealed at the Detroit Auto Show. We got an early peek at this three-row, very luxurious, very capable SUV to see what GMC did differently for the 2024 model year. So if you're wondering what the story is with GMC Acadia, well, think about GMC. That is capability, but elevated. There's a lot more luxury. There's a lot more capability. This is the AT4 edition. There is a lot more luxury in the Denali edition right here. And it has 3 rows capability for 7 or 8 passengers. And what does that mean? That also means a lot more space. More cargo space in the back, more passenger space in the 3rd row and the 2nd row, and more function and more capability in the front seat. Let me show you. The GMC Acadia for 2024 is almost 11 inches longer. It is 3 inches taller, 4 inches in the AT4 edition, and it comes with all the new language of GMC. So you'll notice the new LED headlights, new LED tail lights, and a new face of GMC Acadia. Anchored with this 15-inch multimedia system that is powered by Google. Now, powered by Google means 2 things. One is that Google is the operating system, but it also means you have this. Hey, Google.
To do that, you'll need an internet connection.
Okay, so we don't have an internet connection, but if we did, the lady from Google would ask how she can help. And what she will be able to do is activate any of these apps, set the climate temperature, change the radio station, anything that you need to do so you don't have to take your eyes off the road or your hands off the wheel. Speaking of hands off the wheel, in the GMC Acadia for 2024, you can take your hands off the wheel. That's because it has the option of Super Cruise. Super Cruise is GM's semi-autonomous drive system, and what it allows you to do is to set your adaptive cruise control and your lane keep assist that keeps you centered in your lane, and it also will change lanes for you. So you just tap the your turn signal and it will allow you to change lanes. It will monitor the traffic ahead and around you and safely change you into the desired lane, and then you turn off your turn signal and you just keep cruising. So that is only available on basically interstate highways that have been mapped, but it's a lot of miles. It's almost the entire country, and it is pretty much everywhere that you're going to go on a highway. You'll be able to use Super Cruise, and you can take your feet off the pedals, your hands off the wheels, you just keep your eyes on the road, and then you can relax and have your latte while you're in your GMC Acadia. Some other new things. I want you to notice what is not right here. No gear selector. There is no gear selector. The gear selector is actually here. It's gone back to, if you remember, those old cars from like the 70s that had the gear shifter here. Well, it's moved back to the stock position on the steering column. And what that does is it frees up all this space for a wireless phone charger. So I can pop my phone in there, you can pop your phone in there and charge wirelessly, but there are also USB-C ports here if you need to connect your phone to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which is wireless. So you can do it wired or wirelessly. You can charge your phone. There's a cubby here, which is great for a key. There are 2 cup holders here. There is the requisite armrest here that's pretty sizable. It's got some nice space. But there is, under here, a pass-through that allows you to store something like a handbag, a cosmetic bag, a tablet, something small can go there. And that is a great space. It also has this nice lip on it. Another thing I'm going to show you on this screen are these buttons here. Yes, there are buttons. And these are your quick access buttons to climate control, so you can turn things on or off. And there's actually a volume dial here on the touch screen as well. So really large, really beautiful, easy to see, nicely centered in the middle of the dashboard. The driver has their own 11-inch driver information screen here. So that's a completely digital and completely customizable. So you're able to, through buttons on the steering wheel, customize that wheel however you would like. Something interesting that GMC did is our drive mode selector often it has been a big dial here. They moved everything out of the center console to make this really useful for storage and storage underneath and storage here. They moved the drive mode selector over here to the left side of the steering wheel. So you're just a little button here. We've seen this in some other GM cars. I really like this design because I don't need to be reminded that I have capability. I just need to be able to grab it when I need it, and it's right over here. So on the steering wheel, we're in the Denali, of course, so it is covered in leather, but here at the top there is a bar, and this is our Super Cruise indicator. So it is green when you're ready and blue when it's when it's activated, and you'll always know when you're in Super Cruise because it gives you this nice light bar right here, and plus it's really pretty. I like it. Head-up display, which we can't really see here because we're not driving, but that is where head-up display is projected from, and this live view mirror, so we can toggle for reflective, hello, hello, or for a video view from the rear of the vehicle. Let's go and see what is new for passengers in the second row and the third row. Third row, yes, a larger third row. And you know, not all third rows are created equal. So let's see if this one is. So what do passengers get here in the second row? Well, there are a lot of nice comforts and a lot of nice features. First of all, in true Denali style, every single surface is covered in luxury. So we have these really beautiful quilted seats. They are perforated. They are heated in the second row in the Denali edition. There are cup holders here. We have climate control here. The air vents for climate control are here in the ceiling. I have 2 USB ports and a household outlet. I love that household outlet. And then there's a little storage cubby there, which actually is probably even a better place for a phone. And then we have bottle pockets here in addition to the cup holders. These seats are on rails, so I can move them forward and back, and they also recline. So anybody who needs to take a nap can take a nap. The great thing about reclining seats is they're great for installing child passenger car seats, which there are these very open and exposed lower anchors here in the outboard seats. And they will be in, there are only 2 in the 5-passenger rear configuration of the Denali. There are no lower anchors in the third row. Those seats, if you're installing a child passenger car seat, you'll have to use seatbelt installation. But I do like how exposed these are, and they have a nice little pathway. So if you're using child passenger car seats that slide and click, these are going to be really easy to install. What else do passengers get in the second row? Well, we don't have seat back entertainment. You can bring your own, but we do have pockets. We do have the USB ports. And then we also have a really nice sunroof here, panoramic sunroof that covers the second row. With captain's chairs, you get very easy access to the third row. So let's see what that looks like. So with the driver's seat set for my driving position, and with the center row seat positioned not all the way forward, yeah, pretty much all the way forward. It can go almost all the way forward, and I still have about 3 inches of room between my knee and the seat back. Let's see what the legroom looks like in the third row. Now, notice that this seat is pushed forward. This is a slide and tilt center row seat. So this gives me plenty of room to climb into the third row, and I fit. I have plenty of headroom, I will say, but I don't have a ton of legroom, even with this seat almost all the way forward. So, and I'm 5'8". So thinking about smaller passengers in the third row, there is seating for 3 back here. And this is a much larger third row. In fact, this entire vehicle is almost 11 inches longer than the outgoing model. So it's a lot bigger. Third rows are not all created equal. This one's created pretty good because it is definitely usable. My knees are not pushed up to my chin, and I've got lots of seating space. Really, it is going to be more comfortable for 6 people. There are some amenities back here, including a USB-C port, cup holders, and there are 2 vents, not 1, but 2 vents here in the ceiling. So anybody who is sitting back here is not going to feel a lack of airflow, and they're not going to feel claustrophobic. We've got 2 nice windows on either side, plus the panoramic sunroof. And with the captain's chairs, the cabin does feel nice and open. So let's see what it's like now if we pull this seat back in position. So now when I pull it back into its natural position, it actually comes a little bit further back than this one that I have positioned all the way forward. So with the seat pulled all the way back, it leaves about 8 or 10 inches between the edge of the seat and the seat back. So really good for somebody who's not quite as tall as I am, or a kid in a booster seat is probably going to be very comfortable back here. But what's the big question that everyone has? Can we access the third row with a child passenger car seat installed in the center row? Well, the answer is yes and no. If it is a rear-facing car seat, which is going to take up a lot of space, and I will say these seats are generously proportioned for a rear-facing car seat. So this is set for my driving position. This one is set all the way back. You're not going to have a ton of space for rear seat passengers with this all the way back, but your rear-facing child passenger car seat is not going to butt up against the front seat, even for a tall driver. Now, if you have a forward-facing car seat or a booster in this, or even potentially the base for a baby seat, depending on your seat, here's how you move this seat forward. Notice that the seat back doesn't move, and so this will accommodate quite an amount of car seat space here, and it leaves you this nice large pass-through to climb into the third row. So let's do that. So I can do that, and then as the third row passenger, I can pull this center seat gently into place and buckle myself in. So I really like the pass through because it does give me extra sort of visual and breathing room, gives me a little extra leg room, and I don't feel very claustrophobic sitting in the third row. I don't have a ton of leg room behind the seat, but with child passenger car seats installed here and here, this is very workable. And now, how do I get out? I just push this button. The Denali edition has all powered seats in the second and third row. In the non-Denali editions, it's all mechanical. So there's a tab on the shoulder of the seat that you push, and that will allow you access from either the rear or from the door. So one of the more impressive things in the 2024 Acadia is all the cargo space. So GMC says there's 80% more cargo space in the 2024 model than in previous models. That's because this car is almost 11 inches longer, but that cargo space is also very clever. So we do have a pretty typical cargo area here. I can tailgate quite nicely here, and I've got a lot of room. I could fit a really nice large stroller. I could fit some rollerboard bags. I could fit maybe a hockey bag, could definitely fit my lacrosse bags. And I could fit maybe like 4 middle schoolers' backpacks, and that's quite an accomplishment. If you have a middle schooler, you know. But that's not what's so impressive. What's so impressive is actually under here. So GMC has added this very large cargo well. If you've ever had minivan envy, then you know what you really want is that storage space underneath the cargo floor. So that 80% additional cargo space really is here. And not only is this a cargo floor that does pull out, so you can take it out and hose it out, but underneath this is where the spare tire is. There are some dials here, some knobs here that are screwed in so you can take it out, and that is where you're going to get your spare tire. Pretty clever. In the cargo area of the Denali edition, we also have these very lovely buttons to control the seats. So I can lower the center row seats. As long as you have pushed your center row seats all the way forward, your third row seats will fold flat. There we go. And there's the other one. And look at that, a beautifully flat cargo space with a little bit of a indent there in the middle, but it looks really good. Now I can only raise the third row by pushing the button. I don't think I can do the second row. Second row only lowers, it does not raise up. So you do have to go around and do that one yourself. But the doors power. Oh, and it also has a hands-free liftgate. In fact, all the Acadias have hands-free power liftgate. So key in pocket, foot under the bumper, and there you go. You'll be able to open the liftgate. If you have your hands full, that's okay. The Acadia has you. Family SUV buyers who need off-road capability are not forgotten in the AT4 edition. This is brand new for 2024, and it includes all the things you need to get to that ski house, to get to that house on the dunes of the beach, just to get to the trailhead or to get to the top of the trail. It comes with a functional skid plate. All-wheel drive is standard, and there are off-road drive modes. In addition, it comes with 18-inch wheels equipped with all-terrain tires. It has cladding here on the side over the wheels and on these lower panels to keep rocks and mud and things like that from damaging your car. And it even has the wheel wells even pop out a little bit for a little more protection, and has these nice little lights here for extra visibility on the road. We love that little bit of extra safety. But let's see what the deal is inside the AT4. Inside the AT4, you have all the same standard features and design details. So the 15-inch screen here, the driver information screen here. And let's talk about cameras. There are up to 9 cameras in every GMC Acadia. So I can't really show you the cameras now because we're not in a functional vehicle, but there's a forward-facing camera, there's a rear-facing camera, there are side cameras, there's a rear-view camera, and the AT4 edition is equipped with a trailering package, which has a trailer view camera. So cameras all around. That's a great thing. The AT4 edition has a special treatment on its interior. So it has seating with leather inserts and cloth panels here. And those cloth panels actually work to help you not slide around on the seat when you're on a more, say, adventurous road. And then in true GMC style, we have really beautiful design details here on the doors. And then we have some nice wood details here that surround across the dash and are included on the door panels as well. And I love the squish factor of the material. So you can feel this is nice leather up here and some resilient materials. So if it gets a little dusty, a little dirty, it'll clean right up, which is really nice. The GMC Acadia for 2024 comes in 4 levels. They've gotten rid of the SLT and all of those trim names, and they've actually named the car what it is, elevated. So the base trim is called elevated. There's elevated premium. There's the AT4, which is off-road ready, and then there is Denali. All 4 models will have standard, the 15-inch multimedia system that is powered by Google, and it has standard a 4-cylinder turbo engine with 326 horsepower, 328 pound-feet of torque, and 5,000 pounds of towing capacity. GM says it's going to get better fuel economy than the V6 that powered the last edition. So smaller engine, better power, and better fuel economy. Not a bad deal. GMC surveyed their customers when they redesigned the 2024 Acadia. What did people say? They said they wanted more room in the 3rd row. They wanted more cargo space. They wanted more capability. They wanted all the things they want in a minivan, but they still want a very capable, very luxurious SUV. And that is what GMC went for. It looks great. We can't wait to test drive it. We also can't wait to share pricing and fuel economy information when we have that closer to production, which will start in early 2024. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter and click to subscribe here to follow all the news. We'll be sharing more about the GMC Acadia when it's available early next year.